So I got myself a Zeb, finally. Have a look at it. Oh, we'll sit a bit closer. Have a gaze of it. So, haven't ridden on it yet, per se. I've been out on the street last night and the night. I put it on 2 nights ago. I've been super busy with work and whatnot. But, first night, set it up. Look at me hair. Scale it. First night, set it up. Went a little lower on the bar because the axle to crown's only 5mm higher than longer than the Lyric, but I figured I'd drop it a little bit, see how it feels, a little bit of the lower front end, and didn't really like that position. It was too much effort to get the front end up and get it playful, so went back to my normal ride height, which is 1080 to the top of the bar, top of the grip, off the ground, so 1080mm. Now, setup. Back and forth. I've had a mess around with a couple of Zebs, but I haven't really ridden. I've done one full run on a Zeb. So otherwise, I've been a heap of Fox 38s and just all the other forks. So didn't really know where to start with the configuration. So that was exciting to me. I thought, yeah, beauty. Something completely fresh, completely new, different spring, something to really have a play with. So excited, got on it, started at 1 token, bounced around, felt like it was missing a token. It was short on support, or not support, spring curve. The spring curve wasn't what I wanted, so it felt quite hollow without a lot of. But there was ramp up at the end. There was definitely ramp up at the end, but I don't think the ramp up was spring configuration related. I think it's lower related. So it's the lowers that create that ramp up. Because when you take the air out, there's still a fair bit of ramp up in the lowers. With no air in the fork, it's hard to bottom it out even with no air in the fork, so when you're just pushing down on it. So there's a lot of ramp up in the lowers, so I ignored that ramp up in relation to spring configuration. So I went from 1 token, I went straight to 3 tokens, thinking I'll go, make a not drastic adjustment, but make a considerable adjustment, see what it does to the curve of the spring. Instantly completely different again, and felt too hammocky. It felt too much like a hammock, like soft off the top and really like just a belly in the middle of it. A belly in the middle. I want my curve to be like that, more or less. I don't want it to be like this, and I don't want it to be like this. I want it to be consistent all the way through. So back to 2, and I went up and down. So pressure wise, 1 token, 69 psi. Felt a little bit, not a lot of sag for how much support I was getting. So I was at about 13 to 14% sag, and like I said, the spring felt a bit hollow. So at 3 tokens, I was able to get that 18-20% sag, but it felt, again, like I said, like a hammock. It had too much of that soft off the top, hard at the end. So I went back to 2. I went back and forth with pressure with the 3 tokens, 69, 67, 65, and then played with compression up and down. And I know it's only a street setup, but I've done this a lot of times, and I've got enough experience now that I'm noticing when I do it, it's getting me closer and closer to where I want to be when I get out on the trail. So I'm trusting in my, my pickiness of, or my attention to the detail of the spring and how it performs on the street. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting lefts and rights, I'm cutting full U-turns, I'm bunny hopping into turns, I'm doing everything that I would do on a trail when I'm trying to play around on the bike. So loading it up, smashing it into a gutter at full pace, hopping onto the gutter and seeing how it feels, compressing into a square edge. All of those things that you can do on the street within 50 meters of street and not have to worry about up the hill, down the hill, up the hill. So decided that the 3 tokens was maybe a bit much, not quite the spring curve that I like, the feel. So I went back to 2 tokens, played with the rebound as well. That's a good consideration because these Zebs, they top out. The rebound will top out. So if you're at like a light spring with a bit of compression and you want the rebound fast enough to keep up with you, that light spring will mean that you have to run the rebound a little too fast and it tops out all the time. So slower rebound, little firmer spring. So I've gone the 2 tokens, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 68. 2 clicks of high speed, 1 click of high speed, no click of high speed, 1 click of high speed, 3 clicks of high speed, 2 clicks back to 1. Low speed from 2 clicks to 6, back to 3, 4, 5, ended up with 6 with 1 click of high speed. So this is all from open. So 1 click of high speed from open, 6 clicks of low speed from open. Rebound just slower than topping out, just 1 click slower than topping out, and it feels killer. It didn't feel good at all at the start. It took me a little while, which is fair enough, you know, new fork, new setup, and now it feels killer. So let's hit the trail and see what's up. All right, the maiden voyage on the Zeb, car park setup, 68 psi, as we just discussed. Let's see how she rolls. Woohoo! Got bounced around there a bit. That was more the back than the front. Still feels a little, don't know, I was going to say maybe a little soft, but just like divey underneath. Whoa, yeah, it certainly turns a little different to the Lyric. It's almost like it turns in sooner and sharper, maybe. Oh yeah, it's relatively composed through that stuff. Oh, control there. Just grip on the front there. Not getting caught up, trying to get back up to speed. Yeah, it feels strong, like grip strong and confidence strong. But it's still, there's probably some adaptation because, like I said, it is steering a little different. That's really caught me out a couple of times. Not bad for a car park setup, I will say that. I like the ride height at the front still. I don't feel like I'm too high. It feels more like when I lay it over, there's no flex there, which I never knew there was flex there. But now that I'm feeling a different characteristic as I lay it over, it presents as what I had was flexing there, whereas this isn't. Whoa! See, it's cutting a tighter turn. I'm coming out on the inside of all my lines and then having to correct. So that's something I'll have to... Oh, it's good on the landings of things. This fork is really, really good. Oh, except for in that situation. That may be a... I don't know if I'm too light on the high speed compression, but if I click it up, I know it's going to be a little stout because I got that feeling on the car park setup. Or maybe not. It's actually more direct. Maybe that's better. 2 clicks of high speed compression from open. Let's see. This stuff's a bit choppier. Yeah, not too bad. Maybe I can keep that high speed and back off the low speed a click. Now, not sure, but maiden voyage, straight off the bat, pretty happy with that for sure. But like I said, maybe getting caught up a little bit, poking me a little bit, but I can fill that in. I'll work it out. On to the next. So tomorrow we'll be hitting it harder.